Hello and welcome back to Reality Chats. This story has been on my mind for a while. I was contemplating whether or not I want to talk about it, but today I decided that I will be talking about it. We all know that Nipsey Hussle passed away. May he rest in peace. There has been endless amounts of videos made about this man. Some positive, some negative, some straight up blaming him for his own demise as if, um, you know, he should have known better, is what a lot of people are saying, than to be back in his neighborhood. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the neighborhood who committed this heinous act against him, it was one individual. So I'm also not sure as to why people are blaming African Americans as a whole for what one individual did. I mean, we all saw the videotape, the surveillance footage. There was not a gang of people who committed this trespass upon Mr. Hussle. It was one individual, one. So that's one issue that I'd like to tackle right now, is that we cannot continue to blame the collective of whether you want to call it ADOS, African American, melanated, whatever name you want to put on it, for the acts of the few, the one, the lone wolves, or anything else. It is very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a miscarriage of justice for blacks as a collective when one person commits an act and then we say, well, this is why black people this or this is why black people that. It's not right, because how many times had Mr. Hustle or his employees been at that same place and ran business at their store as usual without any incidences of this magnitude? Many times, I'm certain, based on the video footage that I've seen about him. Now, I do not know the entire pedigree of the young king that passed away. I don't need to know the entire history of him to speak on this, just because he's a human being. He was a human being. He was a man. And I think we should have basic respect for someone that wasn't committing ill will upon entire groups of people. He has not done anything of that nature as far as I know. I think he does deserve respect. To the individuals that are making videos stating that, you know, he should have known better, he was in a gang, this, that, and the third. What is your point? What is your point? You know, that doesn't give someone the right to take another one's life and then blame the victim. It's, I don't think we need to be blaming the victim at all. I don't, like I said, I don't know the history, but I do think it's disgusting that a person passes away and then we blame the victim for what's happened. Now, do I think he should have been where he was? I think he had every right to be wherever he wanted to be, whether it be his store, whether it be up in the mountains, whether it be in another country. I think he had the right to be wherever he wanted to be, as he was a free man and he was not doing anything wrong as far as we could see. So I do think he had the right to be at his store. I honestly, from what I have learned about the man and what I have seen him state in some of his videos, I do find that he was definitely cut from a different cloth than many of the rappers that I have been exposed to. And I would say that just based on the simple fact that whatever he might have rapped about, whether it was all positive, whether it was all uplifting message, or even if it was detrimental in some instances, whatever it was, he was still a rapper he didn't wait till he became a gazillionaire to start telling people to do wise decision making in terms of money, wise decision making in terms of taking care of your community, wise decision making in terms of group economics. He did not wait until he had sold so much products to where he was at the level of some of the bigger rappers before he finally said, "Oh, go invest. Oh, you might need this type of certification." He was doing it right there at the most basic level, and he was connected to the people. So even if he were to rap around, and I have no idea from the songs that I've heard from him, I mean, it was hip hop, it was rap. I mean, that's the genre that he was in. So I have no complaints about that. If somebody doesn't like rap music or rap lyrics, then just simply don't listen to it. It's not that difficult. But from what I have heard him state, I wouldn't care if he had said, I made all my money off of trapping. And the point, if that's a lyric in a song, but if he's coming out to the people and promoting power within those people, he's promoting people, his people spending money with each other. He's promoting his people. He's opening up a door in the minds of a lot of individuals that might have been poor, never seen the outside of their neighborhoods, never been to a different city or town. That, wait a minute, we don't have to just be stuck at level 0 or level negative 100. We can work our way up by doing certain things. Let me show you. And he's showing them. He's opening a store, right? He's getting involved with technology. He's connecting people to his brands. He's selling hair weave to people. And people say, well, he was selling weave. So what? He's selling the hair weave to his people. What's wrong with that? Everybody else sells hair weave to his people. And if they're going to go out and buy it anyway, then why not him sell it? Why not? Is there I go through any neighborhood where there's majority black, the people that are selling the hair weave are not. And people say, well, he wasn't black. He was from like they compared him with being a Somali. I don't care if he wasn't ADOS or if he was. Why do we need to conflate race with ideology? If his ideology is correct, which is spend money with your people, all right, build with your people, what's wrong with that? What does race have to do with that? This is some of the stuff I'm seeing in videos, all right, outside of the people blaming him for his own death. All right, that's like saying JFK. That's like re-victimizing him. That's like blaming Tupac. No one has the right to take another one's life that hasn't attempted anything on your life. I just think that it's wrong. I think that it's wrong. All right, I'm never gonna side with people playing the creator. So, like I said, I can't speak on his personal life. I don't need to know about his personal life. I can't speak on his career. I'm just speaking on the fact that here he was, a man connecting with people that needed that connection. We have so many rappers that are making millions and becoming billionaires, almost billionaire level, and they only come out to the people time to give out free turkeys for Thanksgiving, or when it's time to rep their projects in a song, okay? And I am from the hood, so please do not get it twisted as if I'm speaking on something that I don't know. I grew up in the struggle. I'm still in the struggle. So I do have the right to speak on what's happening in my surroundings. But we have rappers talking about how they sold this, they did that, they did this, they did that, but they never did any real jail time, but they're speaking all these stories of grandeur of what they did when they was in their projects. But guess what happens when they make it out of those projects? They never come back unless it's for a PR shoot. They never come back unless it's to give out something that the people could have usually gotten on their own, such as turkeys or jackets. We can get that from Salvation Army or the Goodwill or the supermarket. When you buy up a certain amount of food, they'll give you a free turkey while supplies last, of course. But they spent their careers talking about narcotics. They spent their careers calling women bees and hoes and sluts and uh, everything under the sun. But then they get that money and they never look back at you except when it's time to sell a concert ticket. But guess what? Even when it's time to sell a concert ticket, they're not really focused on people from their neighborhoods or people from neighborhoods like theirs. They're marketing to a much bigger audience, okay? An audience that doesn't even look like them, because guess what? Those are the ones that have the disposable income to actually support them, okay? Those are the ones that can spend those $500, those $1,000 on those tickets and go see them over and over again to perform the same old songs, all right? But yet they destroy the image. They help to destroy the image, because this is not a one person thing that we can blame. This person did this or that, but they help to destroy and the image of their people. They also help to degrade how other groups of people see people that look like them. But then they put on their fancy clothes, their expensive jewelry. They parade around with their wives or their wife and their children, and never come back. Now, they don't have to physically come back. That may not be safe. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody to go into a dangerous situation where, people may be jealous just off the fact that they know when you leave their neighborhood, when you leave that poverty stricken neighborhood, you're going to go to a house on the hill somewhere that's massive and beautiful, and you have security, and you have whatever you could want to eat, and you never need to wear the same outfit twice. People are going to be envious of that. People are not going to want that for you. So you have people that want to do harm to you just based off of those factors. So I'm not stating at all by any means that a person that has made it out, as they call it, has to physically come back and physically hold somebody's hand and physically show them the way for every little thing. I'm not stating that, but I'm also stating that if they were to choose to come back in that capacity, I am not going to blame them if anything goes awry. All right. If anything, I'm respecting them because they had the connection, they had the tenacity, they had the strength, and they also had the love inside of them to reach back, right back on down. They got lifted up, and those people helped lift them up, whether those people were purchasing things from them or whatever support that they gave. They reached back down to try to uplift them in any way that they could. So I have respect for that. Now, for those who say, "Well, I can't help my people." Well, you know what? Maybe you can't physically come back and do it, but when you have the kind of money that some of these rappers have, you don't have to physically come to do anything. You could simply employ someone to uh, create a plan of where you would build stores or buy up abandoned stores or stores that are for sale, and you could employ black employees or whatever your group is, employees to work in those stores. You could also purchase empty lots, and you could have your people build apartments or build more places where people could work, to employ people in the neighborhood that you come from. And you could also build a private school. You could also build a safe group center for you come from a neighborhood where the youth have nothing to do, and rather than them standing outside selling items or just looking, you could build places and hire, of course, the proper security to keep those areas safe so that the community can have a safe place to go and to socialize and to network. You can do all this without ever having to physically step your foot back in a place, but they don't do it because one thing I've noticed about a lot of these people, especially the entertainers, well, all of them, even the sports, I've noticed about a lot of them, and I know there are some that do the right thing. So if it doesn't apply, let it fly to those who do the right thing, meaning they are trying to uplift and build up their neighborhoods first. You start from your own backyard, right, and expand. I Salute to you. But the one thing I don't want to get mixed up is just giving to charity. Giving to charity is great. But what Nipsey appeared to be doing was going to the trenches, getting to the people. All right, a charity is an organization, and depending on how that organization is run, sometimes if you give the money, you don't know how much exactly of that money is going to actually help the people in the need under that charity. There's so much of a bureaucracy sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes that you're never sure how that money is getting assigned and who's really getting it. The people that need it most getting it or getting the benefit from that money. I mean, charity is great, as I said, but you need to do your due diligence to make sure that the money is not just going to pad the pockets of people and then the community or whoever was intended to get the money is not getting it. But back to my point. A reason why I believe, in my personal opinion, that these people that make the money, that they get the money, don't do the right moral thing is because, number one, they actually are greedy. They are greedy. We live in a capitalistic society. We live under capitalism. If you don't know what capitalism is, look it up. If you don't know what socialism is, look it up. Look up all the different types of societies you can live under. But we live under capitalism. So what I've noticed about these rappers is I come from Marcy. I come from Queens. I come from LA. I come from, all these places that they say they come from. They're not going back, and I mean going back, whether it's them or their agents, meaning people that they've employed. They're not going back to truly help because they want you. Aside from the greed, now I already stated that they are greedy. There's never enough money for them. Do you notice that? It doesn't matter how much money they make, they're always trying to sell you something else. They may even sell you the same thing twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They always want to sell you something. They always want you to work or get your check or get your tax return or get your welfare allotment or do all this stuff. They always want you to buy something else from it. And so they'll shout out the name of the neighborhood. They'll shout out the local public school they used to go to. They'll shout out somebody's name that might have lived down the hall in the projects for them. They'll do that because it gives them that street credibility. But the truth is, they don't want you doing better. They don't, because you would be competition for them. All right? You would be competition for them if you realize you shouldn't be taking your money and spending it on the nonsense that they're selling you. Oh, they're selling you a shirt. Oh, they're selling you another CD. People don't buy CDs so much. So no, they're selling you a streaming service that's expensive when they should be selling you something so much. They could be selling you something that money couldn't buy. They could be giving you the knowledge. They could be giving you connections, right? But they want to always sell you something. They always want to separate you from your money, even when they have a lot of money. I mean, we know money makes the world go round. That's the society that they've created all over the world. But why is it that it's never enough? It's always, oh, I'm having another tour. Buy my tickets. Where's all the free tours? How about, okay, you want us to buy tickets? You want $500 for a ticket? You want $1,000 for a ticket? You want a pass? You want me to buy your album? You want to buy your t-shirt? You want to buy your deluxe CD because you've added 2 songs to it? Well, guess what? Yeah, we're all going to buy it. But guess what you have to do with the money? You have to go to your neighborhood or a neighborhood similar to yours, any neighborhood in need, and you have to take all those funds or the majority of the funds after you've paid the people that you needed to employ to make that tour happen or to make that show happen. After you've employed and paid those people, all the profits that you're going to take just to add to your bank account, a couple of times you need to take that money and actually help other people with it. That's just my opinion. But they won't do that because, like I said, they're selfish. I don't care how much they tell you they love their people. I don't care how much they tell you they care, they wish this, they wish. The truth is they are selfish, they're greedy, they only care about their bloodline. That's it. That's what it boils down to. And I'm not saying they shouldn't care, but I said, when is enough that you can do something really honest and tangible for the others that you use to get where you are? I'm not saying, so don't leave me a comment stating, oh, what did it take care of your family first. But after you have enough money to last you several lifetimes, at some point you can now start doing just what I said, which is giving back truthfully, honestly, and with tangible results. And they will never do this in that capacity because they don't care about you, for one. For two, they are fully entrenched in capitalism, which means they just want to see their bank accounts and their assets and their wealth get higher and higher and higher. Okay, it's not even about life to these people. They want to buy, and they want you to buy. They want to have 5 and 6 homes, and meanwhile you can't get out of the projects, or you can't get out of your mama's house, or whoever you're living with. You can't get off someone's couch because you just don't have the money to get out there on your own. Okay, but they're gonna want you to take your $15 when you get that check and go purchase a subscription to their streaming service, or take that $200 and go buy those sneakers. So we have to stop supporting that, honestly, because we're at a pivotal point where it was not even pivotal at this point. A lot of people feel that it's a lost cause, so they just turn their head and walk away. It's all about survival of the fittest. But when you have people making money, okay, off of the cultures, making money off of the stereotypes, we need to hold these people accountable. Okay, so Nipsey and what he did to me was amazing in terms of being involved with the people. He didn't get the money and just run. He didn't. He didn't appear to have gotten the money and just ran, kept his mouth shut. A lot of people, even if they run, they keep their mouth shut as well. They don't even let you know, listen, you need to look into investing into this, or, you guys should spend your money this kind of way because you can get more, or you can buy this and do that. They just get the money and run. And we don't hold them accountable. I hear people arguing, oh, this is the best rapper, oh, this is the best basketball player, this is the best football player, this is the best. How are they the best? Are you just measuring them just of their talent? Okay, that's great. But now as human beings, because that's what they are, they're not robots, right? What makes them the best? Just that they're living a fancy, grand lifestyle? I mean, at what point do we strive for more? What point do we strive for more? So I cannot complain about anyone trying to awaken people. Most people don't even know, especially poor people, they don't know, they don't dream. You know why? We don't dream because we're always in a survival mode. We're always in a crisis mode, always in a struggle mode, always in a stressful mode, always in a what's going to come in next mode. So they can't dream. They don't have the idea even in their head to dream because it's just a day by day thing for a lot of people. A lot. So for someone to even spark the idea that, listen, we should do this with each other, not just talk about it, but actually make it happen. Make it happen. And I'm sure had his life not been cut short, he would have done much more. He would have done much more because he seemed to be very open-minded, and he definitely had entrepreneurship going on, and I love entrepreneurship because we spend so much time trying to make money the way someone else tells us this is the way to make money. But meanwhile, while we're spending that time chasing that dream, we're starving. We are starving. We're being starved out. We all can't get a degree. We all can't get a job at wherever that's paying you a living wage. We all can't get it. There's too many people. So yes, we do need to have those people that are thinking outside the box. Okay, and then trying to bring others with them, that's amazing. So that's the part about what I've learned about this man that I wanted to speak about. I don't care about all the other stuff. It's not my place to speak about it. I'm not into judging. I'm just not here for that. And I think the YouTubers that are doing that, just the individuals, period, to do that publicly, I think it's disgusting. Because you're speaking about a man as if you knew him personally, and you have the right to say, I heard some YouTubers calling him everything but a man. They were calling him the N-word and talking about him as if he was a child, a silly child that made a mistake and he got what he deserved. And I'm like, wow, I unsubscribed from several pages because just for views, clicks and views, you're running your mouth like that, but I'm certain if you were in this man's neighborhood or in front of his store or with people that really knew him, you wouldn't be saying that about him. But because you're online, you're dogging a man out that just lost his life. I mean, video after video after video after video about this man, and then they're all monetized. So you're dragging a man that just lost his life. I mean, you're not even waiting. You're just, I mean, it's so disrespectful. But so we cover the fact that the people that don't do positive things for their own is they're greedy. They don't want you as competition. Also, what I know in my heart to be true, in my opinion, is that they don't want the average struggling, low income, middle income person to come up. They don't want you to come up because people always think that race is the great divide. Race is the great separator. So many people think that. But the truth is, it's money. It's money. It's the money, guys. It's the money. What can't you do? It's so many things you cannot do if you don't have the money. The money. You hear me? I said it several times. So you could be any race and say, oh, they don't like me. They didn't let me in because of my race. But guess what? If you have the right money, you're going to get in. They don't want your kids with their kids in karate. They don't want you in their neighborhood. They don't want you on the plane with them. That's why they buy the private jets and they fly in the first class and elite and this and that. They don't want you walking around their streets. They don't want you shopping in their stores. They don't want to see your face. They only want your money in their bank account now because they want you to purchase their products. But they don't want you around. So if they helped you all get up, then you'd be around them. They have to deal with you. And they only want to deal with you when you're at their shows. And even then, they're not dealing with you. You can't just walk up on them. They might do a meet and greet or something like that. But they just know they have to deal with you from a bit of a distance for a couple of hours. And then they're gone. They don't want you vacationing with them in Rome. They don't want you renting the same yacht that they may want to rent to sail the seas. They don't want you around. So they will never help en masse. Do you realize that the money that all these celebrities and entertainers and sportsmen, and they have enough money to help so many people, but they monopolize the money because they don't want you around. It would take away their prestige. It would take away their prestige. It would take away that club that they're in. Why would they want that? They're basing their lives and their children's lives and their children's lives off that prestige. So why would they want to help people become upwardly mobile and to have more control over their future? They just want your money. That's my opinion of what I believe to be true. Disagree if you like, but they don't want you around. They don't. All these celebrities having these surgeries to do their body to look like a Barbie doll with the big giant butts and the fake boobs. Are they telling you ladies which doctors they're going to and giving you a voucher or a discount because you follow them and you're doing that because you want to be like them? No, they're letting you do whatever you're gonna go do in the back of a basement and an unlicensed practitioner working on you, getting you injected with concrete and silly putty and Jiffy Lube and everything else to try to emulate them, okay? And you're losing your life because you're trying to imitate them. They don't mind if you imitate them, but they're not going to give you the actual resources to do it right. It's all about misleading you. It's all about distracting you. It's all about distracting you. And we've been distracted far too long. So to have someone come back and tell you and try to give you pointers in the game, and not just give you pointers, but make a place where you could come, socialize, network, and try to be a part of a bigger community, all right? Just be in unity with each other, that's major. And you're not going to see many people doing it. You're going to have a lot of people try to ride the coattails. But the fact of the matter is, you have rappers and other people that have been out much longer. They're much older than this man was. And they haven't done it. They might have sold you clothes. Yeah, they sold you their brand of clothes. But were they in the store working there? Were they giving away their clothes to people that really needed it? And to what level were they doing so? Were they giving you discounts every time school started up so all the kids could have it, or only the kids' parents who had that extra money, or it might have been involved in other things that could afford it, could purchase those clothes? So now we have a kid standing out from the bunch, or being harassed, or being robbed, or even being killed for these name brands. So either people stop buying them, or then stop complaining. Okay? Another reason why I believe that they don't reach back for you is because it's their job to create a piece of art, as they call it, a song or a dance or a look that'll keep you chasing it. So if I create this song and it's or most of these artists, they don't even create their own songs. So if someone writes a song, they sing it and put their name on it. And when you're down and you're struggling, or you're missing the train and you're gonna be late for work, and you praying to God that you're not too late where they let you go, you put on that song and it makes you feel good for those 3 minutes that song is playing, and you plus rewind or replay, repeat, and you listen to it again, and they get the money off the streams and all that, So now, this artist has just helped you get to work. So when you meet them, if you ever meet them, oh, you gave me so much motivation. Your music inspired me when I was sad. And they're like, oh, thank you. They don't remember you. They didn't say, oh, well, I was late to work. Oh, I'm going to get you a car. Because, you've been a fan of mine for however many years. You spent this much money. You did all these things. I want to get you a car so you can get to and from work. Is there anybody else in your neighborhood that's in need of a car so that they can get to and from work, or maybe the doctors, or that I can really help? I would love to do that for you. Not give to a nameless charity. Oh, I gave to charity. That's all I have to do. No, they're not doing that in mass. And they never will. I believe I watched, I know I watched, but I heard Steve Harvey say on his show when he was dealing with Monique, and they were having their discussion about her issues with Lee Daniels and Oprah, and then Steve Harvey was saying his part, and this man said, may not be verbatim, but it's a quote to the extent of, he's basically saying that the best thing you can do for poor people is not become one of them. He basically says something to the effect that he has his whole family riding on him, and if he fails, then they would fail. Now, there's nothing wrong with him caring about his family and wanting his family to be preserved and empowered. But to say the best thing that you can do for poor people is not be one of them, what's that? It just feeds my point that they just want your money. They want you to turn them on and watch them when they come on TV because you don't have a job, or if you do have a job, you're DVRing it. All right? And they want to tell you a little joke, you laugh, take you away from your misery or your stress from that moment. But they don't want to be like you, which is understandable. Who wants to be struggling or poor, as Steve said? But why not help them? Why is the best thing that you can do for them is just not be one of them? Why is that the best? Why is that the best? Ask yourself that. Why is that the best thing you can do for poor people is just not to be poor? It's not to change around systems. It's not to create opportunity for all to, and we're not talking about everybody becoming millionaires. That's not going to happen. Because in this type of society, they need people at the bottom. Why? Because the bottom powers the top. Without the bottom, there is no top. Because the top are not going to go work at the places that they want to shop at. The top are not going to clean their jets. The top is not going to come be a chef in their kitchen. No, so they need people at lower than them in terms of finances to give them the power and the prestige that they have created for themselves. Okay. Another reason why I feel that people with money, especially ADOS people, don't give back is because they want to be a part of the N Club. And Nipsey was so remarkable because whether he was a part of the so-called N Club or not, he didn't have any qualms about stating his desire to care for his people or to empower his people or to bring ideas to his people. But the others, many of them just want to be a part of the N Club. They want to go play golf with, certain people. They want to go to certain conferences, and they don't want to be known as the person that's actually doing stuff for their people, because that's like getting their hands dirty. Why should they? They don't want to. They want to be at a high regard, and I don't believe they regard caring for their people as high on the totem pole. That's my opinion. Now, I think I'll make a part 2 to this video because it's quite long, and I do have some other things I want to talk about with the Nipsey Hussle situation in terms of what people are saying and why some of it makes sense and some of it absolutely doesn't. So I'll see you on part 2. Thank you for listening.